What's up, guys? Our wrestling podcast back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious along with Jess the Total Package and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic, Survivor Series 2002. It's going to be fun. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. Hey, man, can you hook us up with a follow on social media on Instagram or Twitter at O.W.P 2019 or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast. I will say right away, I had fun with this one. I don't know if there might be a bad match, but there's not many. This was awesome. Jess, why did you decide to give us a solid for once and let us review something cool?
I resent that. And then on top of it, it's the first ever Survivors. I kind of was thinking, well, maybe I should do something else. But I was like, the other else would be World War III, and I don't want to do that ever.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I guess we'll do a Survivor Series because it's November and we're getting in the Survivor Series mood. And we already focused on War Games. Dave and I did. And Craig, you were on that too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The fuck?
In the archives.
So we talked about War Games, which will be a part of Survivor Series. And I was like, well, what Survivor Series can we review? Let's do an oddball one where they didn't necessarily rely on the classic 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 special matches. Let's review the first ever Elimination Chamber, who people probably forget that the Elimination Chamber debuted at a Survivor Series. It's its own pay-per-view now. But back here, apparently, if you believe the storyline, Eric Bischoff created the whole thing. As far as rewatchability is concerned, like we all fondly remember the 80s because that's where we were kids.
Sure.
So we go back and watch a lot of the 80s stuff now and we're like, oh, that was kind of geared towards kids. That was hokey. But I was 10, 11, 12, 13 growing up during that time. So
this is like just to your point, this is
but
not
then you
that.
go back and watch the Monday Night War era / Attitude Era with Raw and Nitro, and we go back and watch a lot of those and go, fuck, like I mean, I know The Rock was way over, and Austin was way over, and DX and the NWO were way over.
A lot of shit underneath, bro.
But like we see a lot of shit. We're like, God, really? Like, but
yeah.
As far as rewatchability is concerned, this is the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression era, and this shit is like, I don't think
this
there's
is
a better.
Your
like, if you
01
want
to
go
06 time frame, Jess, where it was
out of all the reviews that
we've
we've done, anything that I've chosen in the Ruthless Aggression era, I'm like, this shit is fucking awesome. Like, and this is like the beginning birth of the brand split here and everything. So we're kind of like, this is. I didn't know this was like a time that I would look back
wrestling
on.
work, if that makes sense. I mean,
you can. I didn't know I would look back on this and think fondly of it when I was living through it. I liked it. I remember loving the aggression, especially SmackDown stuff. I remember loving it around this time, but like I never thought I'd look back on it going.
Big Show was never better than in this moment at these times. He's like these 4-year
like this 3-year like stretch, like 2002, 3, 4, and 5. To me, are like the most rewatchable years, and I never saw that coming.
And you know, it still hurts and would make it completely perfect. And it doesn't really bother me, but it kind of does the older I get. And the more you get into like 4K is the fact it's not in HD. Because it feels like events with the lighting and production that it should be in HD by now, and it's not.
Yeah. It's okay. November 17th, 2002 in New York City, New York, Madison Square Garden. Attendance was 17,930. The buy rate was 340,000. Our commentators are Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole and Taz, along with Jonathan Coachman. They're the SmackDown side, but Jonathan Coachman and Terry Reynolds are our interviewers.
God,
we have Howard Finkel and Tony Trammell for ring announcers. Yeah, what? Sorry.
The buy rate was 340, which is a fucking stellar number. But that was down from the year before. 2001 Survivor Series was 450,000 buys. Are you fucking serious right now? Like, Jesus.
That's amazing.
And that was the peak. I go back to 2000s, and that was the return of Austin on that one after his neck injury, and that got 400,000 buys.
That'll do it.
So it went 400,000, 450, and then it's a big decline down to 350. But I mean, there was no competition here. This is a year and a half after WCW was bought and ECW was bought. So there was no ECW or WCW here. They were bought out in the beginning of 01.
No champions on that end, Jess, but can I put you on the spot and can you tell us who our current champions?
Well, I mean, I know that Brock Lesnar is our WWE undisputed heavyweight champion. A little muddy with all that this year. Triple H is our world heavyweight champion.
Oh, really?
I,
That's weird.
I really hate the two different world
Oh,
champions.
really?
The SmackDown tag team champions are coming into this Rey Mysterio and Edge, and the Raw
Yeah.
tag team champions. I'm pretty sure I know it was Jericho. I'm pretty sure it was Christian too. I think it was Christian and Jericho were the undisputed. Actually, they weren't called Raw tag team champions here. They were undisputed WWE tag team champions. This was before they figured out like to split the brands totally. Like after they did the invasion angle from WCW/ECW, they merged the WCW and WWE titles into the undisputed fill in the blanks, except for the minor titles. They retired the IC title and then brought back the US title for whatever odd reason.
Yeah, but this will fire you up. Match number 1, the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Spike, along with Jeff Hardy, defeated 3-minute warning Rosie, Jamal, and Rico in an elimination tables match that went 14 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay, grade B plus, edit me however you want. Let me explain. The match is really, really good, but there were a lot of misses here. You guys can talk about all the good stuff. One of the 2-minute warning couldn't catch Hardy. Rosie had the table way too far back for Hardy to do the senton off the top of the entrance. Bubba had to move it for him. They threw a table through Matt Hardy, but that didn't eliminate him. Why didn't it eliminate him? It should have, would have been cool, but I don't know what. But they had to do the finisher anyway for that. For me, it was just a lot of misses on that. It just kicks it out of the A grade for me. But I still love the match. I mean, it was brutal. I thought it was great, but it puts me in that B to B plus category. What do you guys got?
I also gave it a B plus. I just felt
Okay.
sorry for Spike, and I feel that
Always
I hope
do.
they paid Spike very well. And
I hope Spike is okay.
Spike shouldn't be
Even now.
taking table bumps from Rosie or Jamal, 375 pounds, and the Jeff Hardy bump on the table from Jamal when like it's just too much pressure when you're that big, like the way it bends. So
It's a lot
brutal,
going on there.
so different, but they all seemed okay. And then the whole will be remiss and say, who won it? Oh yeah, Devon came out because he was a SmackDown and got separated
That's
from
right.
Bubba. They kind of reunited the Dudleys once again. Bubba and Hardy went home happy. And
Hey, it was no rules,
it was nuts.
right?
It was nuts, and the crowd got the crowd
no
off their feet.
DQ. There's nothing wrong
No
with it.
DQ. It was good.
And Rico with no disqualifications. They're the two legal men left.
Don't
They
turn
put
around.
it- A 3D. A 3D.
Here is your winner, Bubba Ray Dudley.
Oh, testify. Who'd have thought that Devon and Bubba, what does this mean? What a reunited here tonight, at least for this point in time.
Stacy Keebler gives us saliva? Question mark. I think we ran that one to the ground. Made
How
no sense.
low
I'm
was
not
that
sure.
dress? Below the
I don't know. I can't remember. I was too busy
It's
going
like
like,
a
why are
foot-
we watching saliva
It
from a
was-
different venue? What's happening?
And she's with Test at this point. She's like, Test isn't here because he's on a PR tour and
I
he has
love
to be
him.
around his testicles. And then so Testicles got a big pop.
No.
And then Saliva does their hit song live in WWE.
There you go.
New York.
Okay, match number 2. Billy Kidman defeats our cruiserweight champion.
They've just
Jamie
no-sold me.
Noble.
See that?
I
Okay.
loved it. I loved every minute of it.
No.
It was good. But I didn't catch that. I'm sorry. I didn't see. I was too busy. Like I was still pissed off at saliva. I was like not. Yeah. I was in a different world. I'll go back and laugh at it later. I promise. Billy Kidman defeats our cruiserweight champion Jamie Noble with Nadia in a singles match for the cruiserweight championship. He does that in just under 7 minutes and 30 seconds. I got a freaking plus, man. This match had you hooked from the get. It's just they go high pace for like a minute and a half, perfect pacing, great moves throughout, great reversals. It was just the way the interference worked with Nadia. It just worked out perfectly. You could say like the shooting star press that was a little botched. I'm not gonna lie at the end, but I don't care. I don't care that it was a little botched. It had everything from the get, front to back, the top ropes with I don't know. It's just everything was so good. When they had to rest, they did. They paced it perfectly, but they lit it on fire in the first minute and a half. I love everything about this match except for it seems like his shooting star press got worse and worse as it went on because he was too close and he would clip the ropes. It was really dangerous, but I love this match. It was so good to me. What do you got?
I give it a solid B plus. As I
Man,
was watching it, I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like, I mean, everybody knows Jamie Noble's good, but Billy Kidman, a
he's
lot of people
amazing.
sleep on. He was good
That's
in
true.
WCW in the cruiserweight division. Like, Billy Kidman's so talented, and they tried to use him. He just, I hate to say it, he never had like that charisma that
That's it.
translated through the camera.
You're right.
But he
Jamie
was
Noble
so
did though.
fucking.
Damn it.
Jamie Noble could do whatever he wanted him to do, and like it was his trailer park gimmick was really funny and everything. I give it a
Fantastic.
solid B plus. I thought this match was fucking great, and Kidman wins the title. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like the whole time I was like, good God, like they just didn't stop, and like the crowd was with it and got it with it more, and so I was happy with the New York audience, and so this was badass.
Oh, look out! Kidman! Noble's in trouble!
And he's still down.
Kidman! No! Press connects! 1, 2, 3! Kidman has won the Cruiserweight title!
Here is your winner and the new WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Billy Kidman.
For Jamie Noble, the losing streak is now cost him the Cruiserweight title!
Love this match.
Yeah. So
I
good.
don't know why, but I'm gonna stick with the grade that I gave it, which was a B. But it was a rapid fire 8 minutes, 7 minutes, so good. You forget how good Kidman was, and as Jess said, underrated Jamie Noble.
We rolled to Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit in the back room, and Angle's talking about regaining the tag team titles, and they go to shake hands, and Kurt says, "No, tag team partners got a hug." I'm just saying.
It didn't work for me. Kurt could make fun with anybody and have fun. I think Benoit might be the only person that it's
I mean,
it's comedy
we talked about it
ice.
before. Like he sucks comedy out of people. Benoit. Like,
He really does.
He had no charisma. Like Benoit sucked the charisma out of the room, like all the time. He had no
Yeah.
charisma. Benoit. He tried, like,
No.
but he was just an A plus in the ring, but just a goddamn B,
Zero
like, when it
timing.
came to-
Like what
Yeah.
Angle is really just trying, like, but Benoit cannot read
He just
when
can't let
to
himself
let
lose,
the card
professional
down
wrestling
or
is
when.
serious.
Yeah.
Professional wrestling is not to be made fun of. Professional, like he just always
Yeah.
has that, like.
He's
I do not hug because I don't understand your
Whoa.
reference.
I gave this match. You guys might be mad at me. I gave it an A minus. I
Just Royal
have
Rumble?
to say, no, whoa. I'm so excited that a women's championship match finally gets over 5 minutes on something that we review. There's so many women title matches that got 5 minutes. We talk about. I'm like, they needed more time, and they finally get it here.
Fun fact, Dave. What
Yeah.
did Dave Meltzer give this match rating
Oh, I
wise?
don't know. What did he say?
Dud.
What a
Moolah.
pe-
Which-
don't get me started.
Bullshit,
with that
right?
guy.
Bullshit.
I don't feel it's a dud. I think
No.
that's
Don't get me
Moolah.
started with that guy.
It's a little Dave
Like, get
Meltzer-y.
outta here. And I know I'm always higher. I'm with you, but I'm really irritated with all the home products that they have to use, like brooms and ironing boards, because they're women. I don't really appreciate that.
There. Oh, snap suplex by Victoria. The hook of the leg. Does she get it? She got it. You gotta be kidding me. But it's legal.
And new women's champion, Victoria.
Well, Victoria may not be Trish, but she's got something Trish used to have.
I
did book it
I
like
didn't
that.
give it
It's
a
bullshit.
dud. I don't know why Meltzer gave it a dud. Maybe Meltzer was really mad that like they were doing that. I don't know, but I give it a solid C plus, and I mean that in a good way. Because I was irritated because I was like, first of all, they made it a hardcore match, and they completely did all that hokey shit. Like had stuff that they believe that a woman should be able to use in the house. Like it's not a good housekeeping match. Okay, and I'm not
Right.
even saying
I
that was
understand.
okay.
I understand what you're
I'm just saying, like, why ruin this match? Like, the next match we're going to talk about is just a straight up match for the title. But they couldn't do that for the women's match. They had to make a hardcore, and then they're like, let's feminize the hardcore. Let's do some ridiculous shit and make everybody remember that they're women. We cannot forget that they're women. And to some of their defense, I'm not even going to say to Vince's defense. Maybe it was.
It smells like
didn't-
Vince, right?
Well,
It smells
he
like
didn't.
Vince.
Also,
It
hear
smells
me
like
out.
quite a few of those guys.
Hear me out. He didn't want the women to come across as super violent. And I think he felt that if you made the women really violent towards each other, even though they're simulating
Then
fighting
don't
in the
put
ring,
them in a
I know,
hardcore match.
but that will turn men off. And again, we're talking about 2002. I'm not saying it's the funnest thing to look back on or the prettiest thing to go back, no pun intended, or the prettiest thing to go back and look back on because it's shit.
It's weird. It's
But
weird to defend that way. Like
I'm just telling you
think
that
it's a lot of testosterone in the room.
But that is a corporate defense,
it'd
is
be
it not?
funny.
Yeah. 20
That-
years
well,
is
Dave,
20 years. 20 years is a
Dave,
long
100%.
time ago.
Yeah.
And I give this match props. The fact that Victoria got busted open with her nose, the fact that it was
By the way,
as
a
brutal
forgotten
as it
gem
was.
of the women's division, fucking Victoria. I love her. She's fantastic.
It's so
She's such a
true.
fucking good worker. I loved her characters, man. Especially when she had Stevie Richard, like doing all that crazy shit,
So
like with
good.
her, and he was like accompanying her. He'd
They
always
beat
fall
the
down
snot out of each other, like,
They
and
did.
it was not a throwaway like some matches, the women's matches at this time was. Like, it was great. I never picked up on the women's kind of stuff, but yeah, that's degrading and stupid. But at least they are making progress and letting trash.
To be clear, I
cans-
didn't give it a C plus
candlesticks.
because of the work. I gave it a C plus because why would you try to handcuff them even more? Why would
Yes.
If
you
you look at the
fucking-
work itself, just as a higher grade, I agree. Craig, what
Yeah.
did you give it, bud?
I give it a solid B.
It's almost as dumb
Cut
as
that.
the
That was
pep
stupid.
talk that Brock tries to get from Paul Heyman just before his match.
Have you ever seen Paul Heyman kind of be like Weasley and like more bitch-like than he was talking to Brock in this segment? It was very
Well,
strange.
Because I remember watching it live without giving away anything. You smelt something was happening. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
you could
felt
feel
like
it. They
something was
oversold
coming
it a
up.
little bit as well, in hindsight.
Because
yeah.
leading up to it, just so everybody knows, leading up to it, like Heyman out of nowhere for some odd reason, like Brock got the Big Show hurt Brock's ribs, and so Heyman's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, like
That's the
somebody
storyline.
actually hurt you. This guy is bigger than you. He could actually hurt you. You need to like watch him. Be careful." And Brock's like, "I don't give a shit, man. I'm
Before-
gonna defend my title." And he's like, "You have hurt ribs, Brock. You can't do it." So he advised Brock to not do it, but Brock's like, "I'm going to do it." So you started like to see like Brock buck back against
So
Paul a little bit here.
can we just say before we talk about the match that this is the best we've ever seen Giant / Big Show /
Paul
Like
Heyman knew
this-
how to use him
He did. He's the only one that did it correctly. In my
and put him in
opinion.
like cargo jean pants,
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you know what? Hide those weird looking legs, man.
like the street
fine
Big
with me.
Show. Like, he's
Yeah,
like the
street
street
show.
thug Big Show.
Yeah,
here.
NBA
Street
Street
Show.
Big Show.
It's
Yeah, he wore like the
street
baggy
show.
jeans like here.
Yeah, he
Like,
did.
he wore a singlet and then he put his baggy jeans on. Which why
Yeah,
not?
Maybe that was a decision by him. I don't know.
It probably was.
I cannot call it. I never look back at this pay per view and said that's the best Big Show is. I don't
this
know
whole,
when. I
not
don't know
this
when that
pay per view
No, it's
particular, but
not.
this whole Paul Heyman, and even A Train,
It's the way he
Paul
was doing
Heyman
it.
made as like a good heel, like on SmackDown. Paul Heyman knew how to book big guys like this, and I think this was the best creative stretch for Big Show
Yeah.
because Paul Heyman knew I gotta make some kind of obstacle for Brock. Like he can't just run over everybody, and that's what
Yeah.
Vince just fucking Hogan did. Let him go, and
Yeah.
Heyman's like, no, like. He's not like Hogan. It's different. Like you cannot have him just mow through people. He's got to be challenged. He's got to fucking be like immortal. And obviously they were going to turn him face, and they kind of already started doing that here. So this is like what pushed it over the edge and,
And
made.
I
it
don't
face.
remember it happening, but I did say out loud, "Oh my God, no!" Spoiler alert when to the next match when
Yeah.
Big Show beat him because I did not think that was happening. And knowing Brock's
No,
year
I
and
love,
where
I
he'd
love
been,
the
I
storyline about
totally
this whole
forgot.
thing. I truly loved it, and I want to say they rematched at the Royal Rumble 03 a couple months after this. I loved it, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I loved the whole storyline here, the way they did it, and like again on SmackDown. If you watch SmackDown every week, Paul Heyman started to become the head writer, and you could just tell that stuff got better. He made the bigger guys more monsters, more menacing. To put the younger guys and young faces over and everything. He made A Train a mid-level heel, which fucking
Yeah,
who
A-Train
saw that
did
coming?
Great
Like
in this time frame too.
A Train's a great wrestler anyway, but I mean, like he's really good for his size too. But I mean, he just made great characters, and like he took these guys, Big Show, who had been watered down a billion times, probably already turned face and heel 45 times at this point since it came over from WCW, had no direction, and Paul Heyman's like, he's a monster. Can we just book him that way? Like, maybe we make him a threat to Brock. Like, you could actually think he could win. How about that? Like, that makes drama.
Sure.
That makes people want to cheer for Brock. And like, I loved what they did here. I loved this whole time. I know we haven't even talked about the match yet, but I loved what they did
Let's
here.
jump
The
in.
whole thing.
Match number 4. The Big Show defeats Brock
An
Lesnar
F. I really can't understand. I'm just kidding.
for the WWE Championship in just over 4 minutes? Question mark. Hey,
Super quick.
Again, by the way, I'm giving it an A. I know I'm super high. On
Jesus,
this stuff,
you
but
and your
I love this
fucking
pay
A's. I must be in a good mood because I'm not getting on you at all.
Yeah, it was
You
really
are.
good, but
Yeah, you are. To give
I
me-
have to say, Here,
I'm like,
can I
you
say
know,
this? Though?
everybody has their own opinion. I'm happy.
Can I
don't know why.
say this? I think because there's not that many 4-minute matches. I think this was the best 4-minute match.
I don't
I've ever
agree,
seen.
Dave, but you have the right to be as
Yeah,
wrong as you are right now.
There you go. There you go. The
Even
Heyman
dumb people
turn,
should be allowed to give their opinion.
no,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Just
cheers. The second referee was so well done.
don't vote, buddy.
Brock just throwing show around was so impressive. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe
It's really cool. You get to drive a car, and nobody questions you.
Yeah, nobody says anything about it. I'm totally fine. So good. But here's the thing: you guys have to fill me in. Why was this match only 4 minutes? Why couldn't we just have it a little bit longer? Did Heyman feel that
You
was
tell
all the
us,
show could do
Tiger.
in 4 minutes? Fill me in. What do you guys got?
You tell us, a boy.
Uh,
I
They're in pursuit. Look at Show. And walks into a steel chair to the ribs. Oh my God. The back. Paul Heyman. Son of a. Oh no. Big Show. Slam to the steel chair. And the evidence has been tossed out of the ring. And Heyman throws the referee back in. Not like this. Kick out Brock. Damn it. Paul Heyman is shredded for Brock Lesnar.
Here's your winner and the new WWE Champion, Big Show.
That's
no,
right.
honestly, the Big Show did have a cast on, correct? Am I remembering? Did he have a cast on his arm?
I just didn't know if it was real. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the storyline. So Big Show had a cast, and Lesnar might have really hurt his ribs. I know they were playing up the storyline,
Oh.
but Paul
Yeah,
Heyman's
he's
really
throwing
good at
around
that,
like he
playing
was
it in. So maybe they were both not 100%, but Paul's like, dude, we got a strong story, and as long as Brock can do a couple things, like we're fine.
Yeah.
And Big Show needs
Yeah.
to do one thing, literally, and like he's good to go. Yeah, we saw the surprise here. You know, Paul Heyman turns on Lesnar and becomes the Big Show's manager.
Yeah.
Big Show wins the fucking title.
Yeah.
Like, which is crazy. I give this like a solid B. I know it was short, and I know
I liked
if
it
you
short
look at it, you're gonna
because
be like,
it could have been
"What?"
bad if you
It
had
was
if
like
you hung
two
on 10 minutes it would have
monsters,
been bad,
and then
right?
yeah, they just
Could've
got
been.
in there. They did their business. I think they were injured, to be honest, but I don't want to see a 10-minute Big Show match. No
No.
offense. He's a
No.
monster. It shouldn't be that way.
Sure.
I thought it was really cool. I really liked this match a lot. As quick as it was, it told a great story. People saw Lesnar take his first ever pinfall loss,
Yep.
and people were like, "Holy shit!" against the Big Show. But it was written well, and then Heyman's a piece of shit and
Sure.
turned on him or whatever, basically because you didn't listen to me. I'm trying to tell
Yeah.
you, you know, and everything. So I thought it was
It was
really,
a great
really
segment.
nicely
So
done. Yeah.
Brock F5's Big Show, which was great, pins him, and then Paul Lee pulls the ref out
Pulls
of
the
the
ref
ring.
out,
It was
yeah.
just perfect, and then socks the ref in the face, and then
So good.
it was great.
And another pay-per-view. Nothing.
You
big, so.
like her, Dad?
Yeah.
Is that Piper?
Match number 5.
Damn it.
Los Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo defeated champions Edge and Rey Mysterio along with Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit in a triple threat elimination match for the WWE Tag Team Championships in 19 minutes, 25 seconds. A+. I'm not saying anything else. You guys talk about it. It's
I give
so
it
freaking
I give it a fat stupid A+. Like, I mean,
good. Ugh,
the second the match started, I was like, son of a bitch. Like,
it's not
look,
gonna
they're
stop.
doing it again. Like, it was awesome. And like, it was an elimination match too, which I didn't like. Angle and Benoit
No.
getting eliminated first. However,
And then not leaving the ring?
Went for the execution. Switch. Spear. Plants Benoit. That's it. Got him. Benoit and Angle have been eliminated. We are down to Edge and Mysterio versus Los Guerreros.
I really thought Angle and Benoit were going to get these titles.
yeah, then they got all weird, and they had because then they did the storyline where they were like challenging. They didn't like each other, and like in storyline. And they really didn't like each other, and so they were just like, but they somehow knew they were a good team, so like they tried to show each other up. But that was a little awkward, I have to say. But I mean, the match was like, oh my god, like everything that Mysterio did in there, everything, even Edge was a goddamn child. But if you looked in there, so I was really blown away. If you look at all the people in there, do you know the person with the least amount of pro wrestling experience was? Fucking Kurt Angle, who had already been 2-time WWF heavyweight champion at this point. It's fucking amazing. That Angle was the least experienced person in this ring. Chavo had been wrestling for a while, back in WCW Cruiserweight, and even before that in Mexico. Eddie had already had like a long career. Benoit, same thing. You know, Edge, as new as Edge was, had the edge, pun intended, over Angle. He started before Angle.
Yeah,
So like
not too,
Angle
not
was
too
the
much for
least
whatever, yeah.
experienced person in there, which is fucking insane. Like to even think about.
Yeah, I look at all this talent.
This match
Well,
is so good.
I look at all the talent in here, and it's phenomenal to me, Jess, that they are wrestling only for the tag team titles because and we talked about this. This is the 2002 stacked talent. Every bit of talent that wasn't on a major AOL contract was here. They were here. And by the way, I'll tell you, every single one of those people that came this way that wasn't on one of those massive contracts was better in the ring than the people that we were waiting on. You know, like the Hogans of the world,
Yeah.
the NWOs coming back later. Yeah, everybody clamored for that, but all the talent was already here. This was, for the most part, I mean, this was every bit of ring of like the best.
Again,
ring
I didn't even
talent.
realize it. You know, it's like it's weird. It's like after the companies were bought and after ECW and WCW was
Yeah.
bought, I think Vince finally let his guard down and got out of his hole. Because remember, he went through that whole weird thing where he, even if they came over from WCW, I have to break them down and rebuild them. Like he went through
didn't
this
do
weird
that.
thing, and he didn't have to do that anymore here in 02, 03, 04, 05. You know, like he just
No.
had to fucking put up good product and make us like the characters. And
Yeah.
like the amount of talent that he was left with here is fucking insane. Like it really is insane. And
It's gross.
just this match alone, I look at every face behind Dave right now. I'm like, good God. Like
That's
what
why
a
I put it up.
talented-
I'm like, just look at the talent behind me. It's like, and
those
it's for
those
tag
people
titles, it's
behind
not
you
even
could
for
start
world
an
titles.
entire promotion. They were only in one match. Those people behind you, if I was starting a wrestling promotion, I could start a promotion with them, basically.
Yeah, you could. They could be your base.
Lasso from El Paso. This is the submission maneuver. Eddie has it locked in to Rey Mysterio.
Wow, he's got it in tight. Got it in
And
tight.
Mysterio taps out. The Guerreros are tag team champions.
Here are your winners and the new WWE Tag Team Champions, Shava and Eddie Guerrero.
Right here, Madison Square Garden, Survivor Series call.
But even how Edge and Mysterio kind of worked well together too with this whole thing, like, it was great.
Yeah. I really did not take too much. I can't remember. It was Chris Nowinski, and who was the other person that makes this
Hardy,
appearance?
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy, that's right. It's
This
just,
was the debut of Scott Steiner in the WWE.
and I just felt it was a lot of work for a Big Papa Pump promo, and I don't know. It was they were out there for like
Why not just
5
debut him on
minutes.
Raw the next night? Why debut him on a pay-per-view
Like,
like
they're-
this?
I
Their
think
promo
because of that
before-
pop he got.
But their
Like,
promo
it was-
before
it was huge.
before Papa
It was
came out.
huge.
What is that? Wait a second. What the hell's this? You ride your... Oh, no, it's not the cow. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Is he really here? Oh, he's really here! I think business just picked up a little bit here, King. Big Papa Pump! It's Scott Steiner in Madison Square Garden at the Survivor Series. It's him, JR! The free agent that everybody wants.
The promo before Papa came out was longer than the fucking title match.
Yeah, they should have
You're
got to
right.
the point, right? Like, yeah, they should have got to the point. They drugged that promo out. The promo between Chris and Matt was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then like, I forgot that Steiner came out. So I'm watching going, what the fuck are we doing here? And then when I heard his music hit, I was like, oh my God, I forgot that he debuted
Yeah.
on Survivor
And
Series. Like,
his music is just a fire engine alarm. It's the most
just-
annoying.
and like a
It really is. It's annoying.
in the back. He looked
But the
fucking
crowd-
great here.
the crowd loved
I
it.
loved this gimmick. Too bad that he shit the bed at the Royal Rumble and it just all went down for him. He had no cardio
His
here.
Triple H
his,
no sold for him and
his
sabotage.
legs and hips were bad. His legs and hips were bad here. Like, yeah, he just wasn't.
Yeah, didn't
he
didn't
looked
they
like $1 million.
say-
Well, at least he
Um,
beat up Nowinski and Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I mean, at least he had a shiny moment, and it was a big ass pop. That Steiner chant was loud as fuck.
It was
they
awesome.
even woofed for Rick. They're all woof 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 like that. They did like
Yeah.
they were, the crowd paid tribute to the Steiners in general.
And I apologize if I have this out of order, but
Yeah, you fucked up.
Either before this or after this promo is when Eric Bischoff comes out and talks about the steel cage for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes.
Jesus Christ! So why couldn't this been a promo on fucking Raw? Like, why couldn't you have just hyped up the rules for
Before.
this
Wait, I
match
thought he
leading
did
up?
that promo inside the cage when it was already down before the match started. No,
He did. No, he did.
He did. It
Okay.
was down and then he came out. I
And
don't
then
know
he
if they
came
were
out
trying to
and-
secure it. You had to buy time a little bit, but
I
Got
don't
it.
think so. I think
No,
they
you
were
didn't
trying to
have to
do
buy
something
anything,
different.
yeah.
trying to hype
Yeah.
it up.
it was
I
just
think rather
stupid.
than rather than the announcer trying to just like blandly go over the rules, I
Yeah.
think that they didn't go over the rules weeks leading to this pay-per-view, which why would you not? they just spent the whole time doing video packages of people welding shit together and going, this cage is going to be the craziest thing you've ever seen. And then like, oh, fuck, we forgot to talk about the rules. So Bischoff comes out there with a metal pipe and bangs on the fucking cage every 20 seconds going, this cage structure, ding-da-ding-da-ding, is vicious, ding-da-ding-da-ding, and every referee can control a pod, ding-da-ding-da-ding, and all the members have to get in the pod, ding-da-ding-da-ding, and 2 people started out, ding-da-ding-da-ding. I'm like, fucking shut up.
But I will say, they're not WCW when you didn't know what the fuck was going on every War Games. So at least they rammed it down your throat, but at least you walking in, you're like, okay, someone else is going to come in after 5 minutes.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that, but I think that they also have weekly television that they should have drilled the rules in our heads before we.
And no one wants to see 5 minutes of Bischoff when you the anticipation, and once that thing lowers, it's over. Like you do it before that thing lowers.
Go right into that match. Lower the fucking cage and go. Not Bischoff going, look at this. Ding, ding, ding,
I love you.
Oh my God.
I love you. This is steel. This is steel.
I also loved him. I did love
this
him
is
talking
steel.
about like
come on,
all the weight of steel, all the welding they did, but that could have been like a promo right where they're bringing it down. He could have had that recorded.
This false narrative.
The ring down, and they put it up on the screen. Would have been perfect.
Yeah. So, hey, can we stop with the bulletproof glass, please? Please.
Yeah.
Stop it.
No,
stop it.
We can't.
Why does it need to be bulletproof? Why does that have to be a
when 3 people
point?
go through it in this match, or 2 people, like it's obviously not bulletproof. Stop saying. Why would you need it bulletproof? Is there going to be like attempted murder inside the cage? Why do you need it bulletproof?
In case Jericho brings a firearm, we need bulletproof.
Yeah. All right.
It couldn't take a super kick.
Match number 7. Shawn Michaels defeated Triple H, our current champion, who was accompanied by Ric Flair, but also Chris Jericho, Kane, Booker T, and Rob Van Dam in that first original Elimination Chamber match.
Sorry, I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Rob Van Dam.
Okay.
Rob Van Dam. In the first ever Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight title. And
yes, this is the infamous match.
39 minutes and 20
39 minutes. Does that include Bischoff rambling on for 20 of it?
I have
telling us
no
the rules.
idea.
It does not.
So I'll just start off here. I gave it an A- because like they know how to do a spectacle. They knew how to, and it was so different than it. You know, we saw this amazing tag match right before, right? Then we saw a different kind of match with Big Show. Then we saw like everything else. I just thought like it was the first Elimination Chamber match. It might be a high grade, but they were trying to figure all this out. They were like, you know, Vince shoving shit up your butt.
I don't think
you guys are gonna all make it fucking work.
Craig, would you?
I think that I enjoyed it like for the spectacle that it was. It wasn't meant to be like this amazing wrestling match. I'm not thrilled about Shawn Michaels.
You are. Yeah.
I'm not thrilled about Shawn Michaels doing it. But this is the infamous match, by the way, where he wore his shit brown tights and they didn't have a normal high waist like he normally used to wear, and it looked awful. And they had his little Dutch boy haircut and like all that stuff. And then like his blood looked like a weird like mask. It almost looked like face paint towards the end. So he looked like a little Dutch boy Shawn Michaels.
They all did. That was such a weird blood. I don't know if they all drank cranberry juice or some kind of
ride weird down at the stage.
I guess Bischoff sold me. I fell for it. But I'll real quick before you give the great Craig, I'm gonna read the eliminations. We have let's see here. At the 13-minute and 37-minute mark, we had Rod Van Dam eliminated by Booker T. Is that right? Yeah. He was the first.
And Rod Van Dam was the hero of the first 15 minutes. Like he was fantastic. Yeah. Sorry, Rob.
Yes. And then we had Chris Jericho eliminating Booker T at the 17-minute, 43-minute mark. Then we had Chris Jericho eliminating Kane at the 22-minute, 53-second mark. Okay. Then we had Shawn Michaels eliminating Chris Jericho at the 30-minute.
Out of nowhere, super kick. That was good. That was good fun.
Yes. And then we had Shawn Michaels defeating Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship at 39 minutes and 20 seconds. Also with a super kick.
Interesting. The champion came out last, even though it was random. Weird. So weird.
And then didn't Triple H have to start it too?
He
Triple
did.
H and RVD started
and that's
it off,
when
I'm
going to tell all the people out there.
Go ahead.
So you're saying Triple H
when Triple H started the match and after his promo of how he was handed the title but he earned it, I texted the group, this is the Triple H I hate the most. And if Triple H wins, and I honestly don't remember what happens here. If Triple H wins this, I'm not doing the podcast. Knowing that he started it out and he had that eat shit promo and he's like, I earned this. And then the guys luckily did not text and then did not spoil it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Sweet chin music. The hammer. He's got it. Shawn Michaels is the world champion. The winner of this bout. What did you say? World Heavyweight Champions, HBK, Shawn Michaels. Oh, they're feeling nervous for fun. My God, I don't believe it. They're on their feet all over the world right now, JR. Nobody believes that.
So, real quick, let me just say this. So, you asked earlier, too, we were referencing in the future at the Royal Rumble 03, the Steiner versus Triple H match. It was a dud. And you were like, do you think that Triple H sandbagged him? And I don't. I do think that metaphorically, Triple H sandbagged RVD. His entire push. Like through this. And I hated the fact that they did that because Vince heard that the crowd was really behind RVD. They always loved RVD since he came over from ECW.
How do you not?
He always got a loud ass pop. And everybody liked RVD. He just connected somehow with us. But instead of them fucking endearing that and making it work, I believe. And they had a thing where I think RVD almost won the title, but then that was reversed or something like that. They tried stuff like that with RVD, but and I'm just guessing as a fan, but that when he got in the back, like he was like, Sean, he just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have it. He's like, I know. I'll talk to Vince too. Like, I really believe that they sandbagged the fuck out of.
You know what's funny about that, Jess? So I read something that Rob Van Dam came off when he frog splashed off the top of the pod. He hit his knee on Triple H's throat, but it didn't look that bad.
I forgot that was this match. Was that this match? It was this match, wasn't it?
Yes, but so Triple H fought the whole thing in his throat and stuff, but he was absolutely fine. But like, I think that became a thing where like Rob Van Dam was kind of unsafe and hurt Triple H with the knee in the throat, and like what a hero Triple H was to finish it.
Yeah,
but he seemed
done the
fucking
frog
fine.
splash a million times. He never hurt a single fucking person.
Correct.
And even if he did accidentally hurt Triple H, it's a fucking accident at that point. If you have a track record of doing that high risk shit, RVD was never known for hurting anybody ever.
He sells it himself, like he hurts his own abs and solar plexus every single frog
one time
splash.
it might happen. Okay, it doesn't mean he's fucking unsafe. It means Triple H, you just got nailed in the throat. That sucks and it's scary, especially
how about
if you
Triple
couldn't
H?
breathe.
You didn't move in the right place. How about that?
Yeah, or maybe you didn't fucking want him to hit the move, so you were just like, whatever. He never protects his guy. I'll lay here and I'll see what he does. Like fucking dick. Sorry, I'm making all this up. It may not have ever happened. They could have been best friends, but
of course it
that
did.
shit.
No, of course it did.
I even felt back then that they sandbagged RVD's momentum back here.
Well, the Bruce Prichard rumor is because Heyman was shoving it down Vince's throat and Vince hated it.
It could very well be that too. Like
that's what.
But the first 15 minutes, how Rob Van Dam and Triple H open this thing, it's fantastic. And then he's the first one eliminated. Which I guess that's fine, but he put the shit in and got the shit in for the first 15, 17 minutes, and then
he might have been the best wrestler on the planet at this moment. Like he might have been.
I saw me carrying RVD for the first 50. That's what I saw. I could be wrong. Sean said he was watching from the pod. He's like, you carried him the whole time, and I was like, I know, right? This RVD guy, a bunch of hooty doody.
They're just
awful.
They're awful people. I did give it an A. I was fully engrossed in watching that.
It's
I knew it was the first one, so I was like, what are they going to use and how do they do it? And if they even had the lights
and
above
Booker
each
T
pod
was funny
on this
as
one.
usual in this too.
I graded the pay-per-view A-. What do you got?
What'd you give the Elimination Chamber, Dave? Did I miss you?
I gave it an A. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, good. Yeah. Fuck, dude. This pay-per-view. I mean, what am I gonna say? A? It has to be, right?
A-, right? Easy.
I mean, like, I thought I was entertained the entire way through. I was surprised because I forgot about the Noble and Kidman match, and I really did like the work of Trish and Victoria for sure. Like,
they did a good job. Yeah,
I love Victoria and Trish. Trish is my favorite women's wrestler, but Victoria, like, I missed her, and she really worked on her characters hard.
I didn't realize they were both. Victoria was also a fitness model, so that whole angle of them both being fitness models, I just thought she was a monster.
Yeah,
it was really good. It was really fun. The tag match, of course. What are you gonna say? The SmackDown tag match. And,
was that the best match on the card, though? You think the tag match was the best match on the card?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think the best, and I think the Elimination Chamber was like second, and then
I think you might put Noble on the third one, maybe.
Yeah, you're there. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and then I like the Big Show and Lesnar
but they're like
one.
so close, man. Oh yeah, Big Show. Yeah, there you go. Those yeah.
And the opening match was good for what it was, So yeah, I thought it was a great pay per view.
Not a bad match. I don't see one. I really don't see a bad match.
There's no match. I would just say if you're gonna go back and watch this pay per view, just go ahead and watch it all the way through. Like you won't be
watch it all the way through. You're not gonna be disappointed.
I didn't give a single match an A up until the last one, but I will give the pay-per-view an A because it held my interest the entire time through. Like,
That's hard to
truly.
do.
Yeah,
And
and I
it is
think,
very hard to
we-
do in these recaps.
We neglect to tell that too. Is sometimes like if you average our grades out and we give the pay-per-view higher, it's like the pay-per-view from beginning to end is watchability, right? It's the way the
Right.
crowd's lit. Is the crowd live? Does the crowd cheer and
Yeah.
chant at things that they
They
should?
were
And
into
do
it.
pop?
It's New York,
No,
they were
does
into
it peak at the right time? Like, it's
how's
all
the
peaks
how's
and
the
valleys,
how's
right?
the booking
card.
of the card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the commentating good? Was you know what I mean?
And
like there's a
that's
lot
a
of
great
stuff.
point, Jess. Fucking Cole and JR in that Elimination Chamber match, like almost over the top, but holy shit, selling the entire night and selling the Elimination
like
Chamber
JR
for 40
just
minutes.
almost dying at the end with Michael. Like he's the champion. He's just dying.
Too
It's
much.
JR.
And then
It's so
Shawn, like every close with Shawn Michaels when anyone was just thank you to the crowd.
He's like fucking
And
hate him.
all I thought
God,
about
don't
was
why
using
you-
Jess is so
I give it a
fucking
C
pissed
plus
right
now.
now.
That fucking match because of that. God damn it.
Thank you.
We hate Michael so
I
much.
just love that it was a good moment, and the crowd popped fucking huge. By the way, when Michaels won, and I just love that he had to do it with his little Dutch boy haircut. Is that offensive? Me saying Dutch boy haircut?
I don't think so.
to the Dutch.
Not yet. Maybe in 2024.
It's still in the
it'll be
paint
offensive. I'll have
can
to
unless they
backtrack.
take the Dutch
Hey,
boy out of
but
the paint
keep in
can.
mind, you guys are talking about watchability and giving it. We all get a high grade, and it's 20 years old. This is a
Yeah.
20-year-old.
And Rey Mysterio and Edge just tagged up 20 years later.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
and they're
wild.
playing off that storyline now, which is really good.
So good. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Google Podcast, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. On social media, can you make Jess happy and give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter at
Don't fucking
OWP2019
bother.
or on Facebook at Our Wrestling
Stop
Podcast.
telling them false,
For Jesse
false
Craig,
shit,
this
Dave.
is Dave with the OWP signing off.
Call Jess 909.
Yes, to your live slave. Protect the freedom of family choice. Doesn't this don't need to let you cowards do WWE. This world is wrong to be.